Hello and welcome back. My name is Garland Fuller. This is episode 5 of All at Once. This is I'd say, where I am now, or at least the most recent thing that has happened to me in terms of a pivot. And so I feel like if you start here, you should go back to episode 1 and just follow it in order because I'll be referencing possibly the other episodes, and it's just easier when you already know what happened. This one is, I'd say, what has got me where I am today. And I wouldn't even say I'm fully out of it, but I feel as though I'm somewhere further than I was 3 years ago. So we take progress where we get it, right? Everything happened to me after I left the awesome opportunity that I was like, when I realized consulting was my thing and was still working. And then I got another opportunity that was even bigger in terms of had an opportunity to work in a headquarter office, had an opportunity to work with some really awesome people. And if anything, I felt like the job was made for me, literally created for me. Talk about manifesting. And so I enjoyed that time. It was probably such an awesome opportunity because it was probably the only time in my career I didn't feel like I was performing. I didn't feel overly stressed out. I had a female boss that was amazing. And it made me feel as though I might actually be able to do this. But I did, again, have my consulting going on, but it wasn't center stage at that point. And it was, me as usual, managing all the things. I don't know any woman that's ever not managing all the things. And when I say that, I mean family stuff. If you're in that sandwich generation, you're dealing with, aging parents. If you're dealing with having to still kind of take care of yourself and your relationship, it just feels like there's always a lot of balls in the air and just a matter of which balls are you juggling any given week. So none of that had changed, but it was maybe August of 2023. And I was given a heads up that my role was going to be eliminated because of some stuff that was happening in the organization, which I could see and understand. I feel like once you've been in these spaces long enough and you understand how business works, you can see when things are coming. So I wasn't totally shocked about that. And I was very much like, okay, that I know is going to come to a close. And then I kept thinking, do I want to jump back out there and find another opportunity? Like in my heart of hearts, like where do I see myself? And I would go online, I would look, even submitting my name for stuff. But nothing felt right. And if you go back to episode 1, where I talk about what does it feel like in your body when sometimes whether something is for you. You're going through the motions of it. You can go through the motions of a lot of things, but oftentimes you'll know, like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this where I'm supposed to be spending my time? Is this really where I want? And I knew in my heart of hearts that me finding another job was going to be a short-lived experience, meaning like I would get it, but I would be not where I needed to be. Keep in mind, at the time, I have a family member who's very close to me. I don't even want to call her a grandmother. She's like a second mom, but also very much like a grandmother, but she's actually my aunt. And so she was getting ill, and because of the level of flexibility that I had, I realized, I could call and figure certain things out. If you've ever had to deal with an aging relative, parent, anybody, there's a point where their care is sometimes not happening in the home, or sometimes you're having to shuttle them from appointments and all of this. And so she was at a point where her health was really getting compromised and it was getting difficult to continue to manage it. And I had volunteered to kind of be the person to do the running around and all of the stuff. And so getting laid off when I did actually came at a good time because I could really be present. At the time, another family member had a cancer crisis and was really kind of shocked and jarred by that. And so it just felt like all kinds of things were happening. And if you've ever been in a situation where things are just happening, it feels like, as they say, life is lifing, you just realize you don't have as much control over this thing as you think you do. And you kind of have to like just buckle up and see where this ride is going to go. I myself personally was entering that stage of menopause, perimenopause, where, if it's not hot flashes, it is some kind of like, dare I say, medical gaslighting, because you're trying to tell all of these doctors what's going on with you. And they're just looking at you like ready to just put you on birth control pills. And you're just like, if I wanted birth control pills, I wouldn't even have to make this up. Like, this is bigger than a prescription of birth control pills. And so that's a whole other conversation. But if you have gone through that or experienced that, and I know there's tons of women out here in this stage and age of life where your body feels like it's, I don't want to say rebelling against you, but kind of like it's reverse adolescence is what they call it. Like, it's doing things that you don't have any idea about how this is going to work. And you're just getting through it as fast as you can. And so all of this is converging. I've got a layoff. I've got perimenopause. I've got an ailing, you know, parent, but also just all of these things. And so it was a lot of stuff happening. I call it the same year I lost my job, my hormones staged a revolt, and I lost the woman who helped shape who I am, one of the women. And I had no choice but to figure out who I was. So my aunt ended up passing away, and it was a wake-up call for me in terms of realizing how short life is. She was 86 years old, mind you. So she had an amazing, long, full life. But I think when someone who you've known for your whole life and has kind of been there for you in all the ages and stages, and who you realize is really your person when it comes to like, she's just got this way. I don't know. She was a nurse and a teacher. And so there's certain things she says and does that just stick with you. And so it was just very difficult because my mom is very close to my aunt. They were sisters, but more like best friends. And so it was tough because there was just so many things happening. And so when all of these things are happening to you, you kind of start to feel like you're kind of losing it a little bit. And it really felt a little bit like that. I felt like the low energy and the brain fog from the perimenopause, along with kind of the grief, it just was all happening at the same time. I was going through the motions of things, I was doing the things, but I felt like I was kind of sleepwalking through my life a little bit. And grief does that to you. If you are experiencing grief right now, for whatever, if it's a spouse, if it's a sibling, if it is a partner, like somebody who was really friend, like pivotal in your life, like it's normal to kind of feel a little bit off. And I feel like nobody tells you this until you experience it. And it's hard to, you don't want to be the Debbie Downer, but you don't also want to pretend like it's not impacting you. And so definitely seeking help is important, but just honoring this idea that like it's okay that you're not okay and it's going to take whatever time it's going to take. I mean, that's a real thing. But the thing also with that person's life is you get to, at some point, I think, honor it and be like, wow, this person, I had the opportunity to share time and space with them and was able to like do life with them, good, bad, ugly, all the things. And so there's gratitude in that. And it takes a while to get to that gratitude. You may not get there immediately, but it is a thing. And then I came to realize there's like all these other tools and resources out here that we are not using, that we maybe aren't even aware of. I'd say my morning walks that I started doing were critical in getting me out of the house and kind of back in nature and remembering that there's an amazing growth of all the things happening around me. I would definitely say trying new things and enjoying things, finding the joy in life, which you hear that and you're like, finding the joy in life, but really it's finding the things you enjoy. And I think we so often don't feel like we can access joy when we're in such grief, but it is there. It is also there waiting for you. And so finding those spots of joy, I think is really important. And so I just kind of walked my way through this thing. Fortunately, I got the drugs that I needed. Shout out to HRT, which I feel like night and day within months was like, whoa. So taking care of your health is critical. If you have anything that you just feel like I should go check up on that, or I should get a therapist about that or whatever, like do it. I found an energy healer that I just love. And I feel like she lifted so much off of me and out of me that I don't even know that I knew was there to the extent that it was. And so there's stuff out here. You don't have to be in grief like in eternity, because if you know this person loves you, you know they wouldn't want you to be not living your full life that you still have and experiencing all the amazing things that are around you. And so it's so important to like still keep living and find the joy in living. So my closing question: is there someone whose life inspires the way you want to live yours? And for the person who um, has passed away in your life, how would they like you to move forward? And how would they want you to be the fullest expression of yourself in this next chapter? Feel free to, again, send me a message, email, doesn't matter. I just want to hear, but I do want you to know that you're not alone, um, that you are loved, and that you are going to get through this. So that is my final episode. I did not script this too much, so you're getting it literally as it's coming out of my mouth. I had some ideas, and I'm hopeful that what I've shared with you today, it resonates and allows you to not only feel seen, but understand that it's okay to be in a space of transition and to pivot into something new and to change your mind and to want more, because we're alive and we have the opportunity to make this whatever we want it to be. So thank you so much. If you've made it to episode 5, you're a real one. It also probably means we need to connect. I have confidential conversations, or I guess what they call discovery calls, with people, because I feel as though that's my calling in this life right now, is to help you find your way and make yourself happy again, to find the joy that you need to be the person that you came here to be. So thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye.